You're watching, yes, the Yankees Entertainment and Sports Network.
Middle stop on a three-city road trip for the New York Yankees. They are headed for Tropicana Field tonight, where tonight the Yes Network presents New York Yankees baseball. It'll be the Yankees against the Tampa Bay Rays in the first game of a three-game series in St. Petersburg, Florida. Hi, everybody. Ken Singleton along with John Flaherty. The Yankees are trying to get back on the winning track. They have lost each one of the first three series 2-1. In Flash, on Wednesday night in Baltimore, they let one get away.
Well, they did. The strength of this ball club is going to be the bullpen, and when they have a night like they had on Wednesday night, a very disappointing loss. The Yankees had an off day yesterday, trying to rebound here this weekend in Tampa Bay.
Let's check out tonight's pitching matchup, brought to you by People's United Bank. See what know-how can do. And for the Yankees, it'll be Adam Warren with a record of 0-1. 1.69 ERA, and Nathan Carnes, the rookie, will get the start for the Rays. Let's check out Warren's last start.
Well, Adam Warren making the transition to the rotation after being in the bullpen all of last year and kind of flying under the radar as a number 5 starter. Whenever he pitches, there's going to be a lot of contact, so the defense is going to be a big part of the ball game. He handled himself well. 5 1/3, 1 earned run against the Red Sox. Was a tough luck loser in that game. Only had 1 strikeout here. You're going to see it, the big poppy David Ortiz. But all in all, a very quality outing from Adam Warren.
We talked about the Yankee bullpen and how good they have been. First 8 ball games, they were excellent. 7 earned runs and 36 in the third innings. Opponents hit just 177. But Wednesday night against Baltimore, 5 earned runs in 3 innings. The Orioles hit 500 against them, and the bullpen did give up a home run. When we come back, Meredith Marakovitz will catch us up on what's going on with Brett Gardner. He's been out of the lineup the last few days. MM with Brett Gardner when we come back.
Game 1 of the 3-game series between the Rays and the Yankees coming your way in just a couple minutes. I'm Meredith Marakovitz. If the Yankees are going to pick up the W this evening, they'll have to do it without Brett Gardner. It's time now for a quick medical update brought to you by Montefiore Medical Center, Montefiore Inspired Medicine. Gardner was hit on the wrist in Game 1 of the Orioles series on Monday. He exited that lineup, bone bruise. He was x-rayed after that. Those x-rays came back negative and actually went for a precautionary MRI MRI yesterday, and they revealed the same thing as the x-ray, just a bone bruise. Now, Gardner was at his locker in the clubhouse earlier today, and he said he felt as though he could play this evening, but Joe Girardi deciding to be cautious instead, so Gardner will miss his third consecutive game. Now, Brett Gardner did go through a full BP today, and Joe Girardi did not rule out the possibility of seeing him in there as a pinch runner or a defensive replacement late in the game, but it doesn't seem like Gardner's too far out from going back into that starting lineup. Plenty more to come here on the Yes Network. It'll be Ken Singleton and John Flaherty with Lineup's First Pitch Baseball coming up next, right after the break.
Sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. Call 1-800-DirecTV. Buy Jeep. Visit Jeep.com or your local dealer today. By Subway Restaurants. Get any foot long for $6 or less. April only. Subway. Eat fresh. Limited time only at participating restaurants. And by RE/MAX. Nobody sells more real estate than RE/MAX. Here's a look at outside of Tropicana Field, where some fans are still making their way to their seats tonight as the Yankees and the Rays open a 3-game series. Let's take a look at the game time weather conditions presented by Bigelow Tea. Now, outside of Tropicana Field, 80 degrees today. It's somewhat cloudy and humid. Humidity up there at 76%. The wind at 6 miles per hour. And the forecast, mostly cloudy and humid in the Tampa Bay area. But indoors here at Tropicana Field, Joe Girardi and the Yankees will get underway in this 3-game series in ideal conditions. 72 degrees underneath the roof as the Yankees and the Rays get ready to go at it. Tonight's Yankee starting lineup, as always, presented by Lexus. At the very top, it's going to be Jacoby Ellsbury. He'll lead it off in center field. Chase Edley will be at third base, followed by Carlos Beltran in right field. Cleaning up, the first baseman, Mark Teixeira. He'll bat fourth. Brian McCann doing the catching, followed by Alex Rodriguez, the designated hitter. Stephen Drew will be at second base, followed by Chris Young in left field, and batting ninth and playing shortstop, Didi Gregorius.
Well, that Yankee lineup going to face a young right-hander, very talented guy, Nathan Carnes. We'll look at his numbers on the young season, coming off a good start his last time out against the Miami Marlins. His third start of the year, the ERA just under 5, and we'll check out our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. This guy is sporting a big arm, fastball about 93 to 96 with a power curveball, and 0 for 21. Those were the right-handers for the Marlins against Carnes the last time out. That speaks to his big curveball. And he has a reputation even in the minor leagues as a hit or miss guy. If he's got good stuff and good location, he can be dominant. And on the flip side, when he struggles, it gets away from him early. His last outing, 7 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned run against Miami.
Well, the Rays got in town very early this morning, about 3 or 4 o'clock. They came all the way from Toronto. We'll check out their defense presented by Geico. In the outfield, it's Jennings, Kiermaier, and Souza Jr. In the infield, Forsythe, Cabrera, Beckham, and Dykstra, with Bobby Wilson, the veteran, doing the catching for Nathan Carnes tonight. Oh, it should be underway in just a moment. Carnes is finishing up his warm-up tosses. There is first-year manager Kevin Cash. Of course, Joe Madden now with the Chicago Cubs, and Cash, who was the bullpen coach for the Cleveland Indians the last couple of years under Terry Francona, takes over. He's a Tampa native, so he knows this area, and he'll be the manager for the Rays in the foreseeable future. Leading off for the Yankees, Jacoby Ellsbury. And he's looking for his first run batted into the season, although he steps in with a 7-game hitting streak, and he's 4 for 12 on this road trip. And we're just about ready to go, and here's the first pitch of the ball game. And it hits the outside corner for a called strike. There's that power curve that Flash was talking about, and it drops in for strike 2. So Ellsbury immediately in the hole. No balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, and if you go over the scouting report on Carnes, it's power, fastball, big curveball, a very occasional changeup.
Curveball in the dirt for a ball. Originally selected by the Washington Nationals in the 12th round back in '09. Did his college pitching at North Carolina State and Texas Tech. This is his first ever appearance in the regular season against the Yankees. He did start a game this spring at Steinbrenner Field. Fastball right down the middle and in there for a call, strike 3. So Ellsbury back to the bench. There's 1 out here in the top of the first.
Well, pretty much right down Broadway to Jacoby Ellsbury. Back-to-back curveballs before that. Must have been sitting on an off-speed pitch. It's fastball right back down the middle.
So 1 out, and it'll bring up Chase Headley, the switch hitting third baseman for the Yankees. And that pitch maybe a little outside for ball 1. Headley went 2 for 8 in Baltimore. Home plate umpire tonight is Hunter Wendelstadt. Pitch is line foul over the picnic area down the left field side, and it's a ball and a strike on Chase Headley.
You watch Carnes pitch, and really the fastball is pretty straight. I mean, it's got good velocity, and it seems like a heavy fastball. Not a whole lot of movement to worry about.
Ball 2, 2 balls and a strike. During Carnes' minor league career, he held opponents to a .215 batting average with 515 strikeouts in 449 innings. That's impressive. There's strike 2. Count evens up at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, there's the borderline pitch that if Carnes can get that, it's going to make him awfully tough tonight. Hunter Wendelstadt, low strike. Big difference in this at bat.
Called strike 3. Headley caught looking. So back-to-back strikeouts to start the game for Nathan Carnes.
A good start for Carnes, not so much for the Yankees. Back-to-back strikeouts, both of them looking a little bit higher than the last strike. Bobby Wilson, a nice frame, bringing it back to the strike zone and up a little bit.
Here's Carlos Beltran, and he takes a pitch a little bit high for ball 1. Beltran sitting on 999 hits in the American League. And that's in there for a strike. Ball and a strike. Beltran, of course, in the National League, 1,329 hits in his National League days. Outside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
Well, one thing you like if you're a Rays fan, Nathan Karns gets the ball, gets on the mound, and works quickly, establishing a nice rhythm early on.
3-1.
Good pitch for Carlos Beltran right here. Mark Teixeira on deck. Talked about the fastball. It's hard, but it's pretty straight. Carlos is struggling a little bit early. Get the bat head out.
Strike 2 call, and the count has run full. Karns is one of 9 rookies on the Rays ball club. That's a major league high.
Again, another low strike that goes against the Yankees.
So the count is 3-2. Here comes the payoff pitch. And it's low for ball 4, and still no contact by the Yankees. 2 strikeouts and a walk here to get things going in the first inning. And stepping in is the Yankee cleanup hitter tonight with a 7-game hitting streak, Mark Teixeira. He had 3 hits in Baltimore, 1 in each game, 2 doubles and a home run. So showing the extra base power. And he'll take a pitch in there for a called strike. I mentioned 9 rookies on the Rays. Unusual that Karns is a 27-year-old rookie. He is the oldest member of the starting rotation. And that is a ball, 1-1.
Well, Kenny, you mentioned how young the Rays are and also been decimated by injuries early on. 10 players on the disabled list already. Even with all that being said, started off nicely, 6-4.
They're coming off a 5-2 road trip. They won 3 out of 4 on their last stop. That was in Toronto. That pitch misses. Teixeira takes, and it's 2 balls and a strike. The 2-1 pitch is fouled off. Teixeira in his career against the Rays has hit 23 home runs. Go along with 70 runs batted in against the Devil Rays and the Rays. There's Kevin Cash, who played briefly for the Yankees in 2009. In fact, got a World Series ring out of it. Full count. So that will start Beltran at first base. On deck, Brian McCann, the Yankee catcher. Runner goes, and it is low for ball 4. So after 2 strikeouts, 2 walks for Nathan Karns, and he's got himself in a bit of a jam here as Beltran moves out to scoring position. And the first visit of the night of pitching coach Jim Hickey. Fans are reminded this copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees.
Well, it's kind of what we talked about in the scouting report. Karns can be hit or miss. We saw that the first 2 batters. He strikes him out looking and follows it up with a couple of walks. Now he's in trouble, and an opportunity for Brian McCann.
So McCann looking for his first hit of the road trip. He went 0 for 7 in Baltimore. He did have a sacrifice fly. So the chance for the Yankees here. The shift is on. 3 infielders on the right side of second base. And the first pitch is a breaking ball in the dirt for ball 1. Good stop by the veteran Bobby Wilson. So the wheels have come off the cart a little bit here for Karns after catching Ellsbury and Headley looking on strikes. Back-to-back walks to Beltran and Teixeira, and now falls behind McCann.
Well, as a hitter, it gets a little bit easier when you pretty much have a 2-pitch pitcher. We talked about the fastball, curveball, and a very occasional changeup. Brian McCann, you sit on a fastball right here and try to do some damage.
Pitch is on the way, and it's late in there for a strike. 1-1.
And it doesn't get any better than that right there. A fastball right down the middle, and Brian McCann takes it.
Pitch is fouled back to our left, and the count is 1-2. Yankees went 8-11 against the Rays last year. In fact, their last winning season against the Rays was 2009. Of course, Yankee fans remember that year. Yankees won the world title. The Rays have been tough on the Yankees the last few years. Pitch is pop foul, and this will be over the Yankee dugout and a souvenir. Count remains a ball and 2 strikes. That pitch count is jumping up there. 25 pitchers here in the first inning for Nathan Carnes. Pitch is popped up to the right side. And it looks like second baseman Tim Beckham. He puts it away and puts away the Yankees' chances here in the top of the first inning. Yankees leave a couple as Carnes escapes. It's on to the bottom of the first inning. Here is the Tampa Bay Rays starting lineup. Kevin Kiermaier being center, followed by Steven Souza Jr. He'll be in right field. Asdrubal Cabrera, the former Indian, will be at shortstop. Evan Longoria is the designated hitter. He'll clean up. Desmond Jennings is in left field, followed by Alan Dykstra at first. Logan Forsythe at third base tonight. Tim Beckham will be at second. And batting ninth and doing the catching is Bobby Wilson.
Well, that Rays lineup going to get a look at Adam Warren making that transition from the bullpen last year into the rotation this year. It'll be his second start of the year. Had a good one his first time out against the Red Sox, 1.69 ERA. We'll check out our pitcher scouting report, which is brought to you by your Tri-Honda dealers. Kind of a rotation sleeper, the number 5 guy, Chris Capuano, will be coming back off the DL at some point, but there's no reason why Adam Warren can't stay in this rotation. We talked about his good first start, 5 1/3 against Boston, only 1 earned run, a tough loser in that game. And the lefties were 5 for 10 against Adam in that ball game. Tells me his changeup wasn't as sharp as he would like it to be. We'll see if he can improve on that tonight.
There's Larry Rothschild, the Yankee pitching coach, who has mentored several of these Yankee young pitchers in their rotation. Here's Kiermaier. He's going to lead it off for the Rays. And Warren's first pitch, knee high, in there for a called strike. Kiermaier's off to a great start this year, hitting .344, a couple of home runs, 4 runs batted in. On base percentage way up there at .382. A superior defender, covers a lot of ground at center field. That pitch is inside for a ball. And he has kind of bumped Desmond Jennings over to left field. We've seen Jennings in center field the last couple of years. Pitch is on the ground to first. Nice hop for Teixeira. He's going to take it himself and beats Kiermaier to the bag, and there's 1 out. Well, we just saw Mark Teixeira at first. Let's take a look at the rest of the Yankees defense, brought to you by Geico. The rest of the way around the infield, it's Drew at second, Gregorius at short, Headley at third. Young in left, Ellsbury in center, and Beltran at right, and Brian McCann doing the catching for Adam Warren. So So 1 out, nobody on, and it'll bring up Steven Souza Jr. He too had been with the Washington Nationals. Hitting .250 with a couple of home runs and 7 runs batted in. Now, one of those home runs that he hit was in Toronto at Rogers Center, and it was a monster. The longest home runs I ever heard of there. Warren deals the 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball, a little away. Take a look at it.
Well, this home run makes you take notice of Souza Jr. and his power. Straight away center field. That clears everything.
Of Daniel Norris. It was estimated at 463 feet. It was up near that restaurant up there in straightaway center.
I don't know about you, Kenny, but I remember him as making a great defensive catch to save a no-hitter for Zimmerman in Washington. And now all of a sudden you see that home run and the impressive distance, you start thinking a little bit differently about him.
Well, he's got power and he's got speed. And he's a big guy, about 6'4", 225 pounds. So you can see where that power comes from.
Yeah, the downside would be 15 strikeouts already on a young season. You're right, you got to like the athleticism.
Ball is lined into center field, and Souza Jr. has himself a base hit. So he's on with 1 out.
We'll look back right here in the great defensive play to end the no-hitter for Zimmerman in Washington. Ball drilled out to left center field. Souza comes out of nowhere, full extension. Great play. Now getting a chance to establish himself here in Tampa Bay.
What a way to finish off a no-hitter. And Souza Jr. came over to the Rays in a 3-way trade. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who the Rays signed as a free agent. He swings at the first pitch and lines it foul beyond the Rays bullpen in right field. Cabrera, longtime shortstop with the Cleveland Indians. Hitting 190 on the year. And right now he's in the throes of a slump. 0 for his last 19. Check on Souza Jr. at first. The Rays have been running. They've got 11 stolen bases in the early going. Kevin Cash has set them free on the bases.
It kind of reminds you of some Rays teams from years past with all the speed. Adam Warren does a great job against the running game, so a nice challenge all the way around tonight.
Runners not going. The pitch is hit through the hole and into right field for a base hit. Souza Jr. turns at second, going to hold on there as Beltran gets it back in quickly. So back-to-back singles, and the Rays are threatening here in the bottom of the first.
Boy, Cabrera needed that knock right there. 0 for 19 coming into this at bat, takes advantage of the hole between first and second.
And now he's just 18 hits away from 1,000 for his career.
A fastball with a little bit of movement out over the plate, just good extension, hooking it through that hole.
Tonight, Evan Longoria is the designated hitter. And he too is only 18 hits away for 1,000 for his career. First pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Last night he set the club record for doubles, which was held by Ben Zobrist when he hit his 230th career double as a Ray. Swing and a miss, and the count is 1-1.
A good slider right there from Adam Warren, and a hitter's count. You see the numbers against the Yankees at 28 bombs, 81 RBIs. He wasn't thinking about a base hit to right field there. He was looking for a 3-run jack and didn't get it.
Yeah, since 08, nobody has hit more home runs against the Yankees than Evan Longoria. Jose Bautista is second with 26. That's inside, ball 2. 2 balls and a strike.
You know, Kenny, coming into this year for Tampa, I was wondering about Longoria. Would he have enough protection in this lineup? Really, the main player in the middle of the lineup, would there be anybody to protect him? Tonight it's going to be Desmond Jennings. We'll see if that continues.
Well, Longoria's already walked 8 times this year. Fouled at the plate, and the count levels at 2-2. And last night, one reason why he's in DH tonight is because last night his former college roommate Marco Estrada drilled him with a pitch. Now this is one of those games where players are being hit on both sides. You saw Chris Archer there. He was saying, what's that about? He had actually hit 2 Blue Jays in the game, and I think the retaliation was for those players being hit. Russell Martin and also Edwin Encarnacion got drilled.
Well, what you don't like is Chris Archer was missing up and in around the hands, so I think the Blue Jays took exception to that. And the one thing you liked about the Longoria at bat, he was hit in the hip, no damage done, probably a bruise, and he understood it too. His comments today, hey, pitchers have to protect their hitters, and that was what was going on last night in Toronto.
You know what? What's interesting about now, we're going to take a look at the other plays being hit. This is Russell Martin taking one off the elbow. And Encarnacion being drilled in the elbow. And that led to Longoria being drilled. Ground ball towards third. Headley has it. They go to Drew for 1. On to Teixeira, and there's a double play. 5-4-3 double play gets the Yankees out of trouble here in the bottom of the first. Nice play around the horn to get the Yankees out of a jam. The Orioles take on the Red Sox, followed by the Yankees squaring off against the Rays. Coverage begins at 3:30 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. We move to the top of the second inning. Alex Rodriguez will lead it off for the Yankees. Nice double play started by Chase Headley and turned over by Stephen Drew to Mark Teixeira. Get the Yankees out of a jam in the bottom half of the first. A-Rod steps in. 2 for 7 in Baltimore, and one of the 2 was a home run. The shift is on to the left side with A-Rod at the plate. He swings and misses strike 1. His next hit here at Tropicana Field will be the 100th hit he's produced in this ballpark. He trails for visiting players Derek Jeter, Johnny Damon, and Robinson Cano. His pitch is hit high and deep to left center field. Way back goes Kiermaier. This one is gone. A home run for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. And as soon as he touches home plate, he will now be 9th by himself on the all-time run scored list with 1,924. He passes former teammate Derek Jeter for 9th place.
Well, the one thing that we have noticed early on, pitchers are trying to blow that fastball by Alex Rodriguez, and he has to prove to them that he can turn it around, and he has proven it. for the American League and the rest of baseball.
That's home run number 3 on the season. And it'll bring up Stephen Drew. And Drew fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Here's another look.
Well, just like the home run in Baltimore, that was a long shot. There's no doubt about this. Off to the left of center field and has plenty of distance. Home run number 3. Alex Rodriguez has been impressive turning the fastball around. Figured opposing pitchers would test him, and he's answered it.
Well, Flash, 2 home runs on this trip, and I mean 2 gigantic home runs. You mentioned the long one in Baltimore, and this one went at fur piece here at Tropicana Field. Pitch is fouled back by Drew. Count as a ball at 2 strikes.
Had that good sound off the bat. This goes up to a section you don't see too many home runs go.
Both home runs on high fastballs.
That's a good sign. We've seen Alex, even in his prime, have a little bit of trouble with the high fastball just above his hands. Not right now. He's locked in.
Drew takes a pitch in the dirt. It's 2-2. I think one thing about the great home run hitters, there are certain hitters who have happy zones, Flash. You know, there's certain pitches that you like to hit. You hit harder than others. But the true home run hitters are the ones that can hit a lot of different pitches out of the ballpark. The high fastball, or hanging breaking ball down and in. That pitch is low.
Well, the one thing, Kenny, I think I've seen from Alex early on, he's getting so many fastballs because pitchers want to see if he can hit it, and has the bat speed that he's been more aggressive early in counts. He's always been a guy who has paid attention to patterns. Now he seems he's just going up there early on and looking for a pitch to drive and hammering it.
We'll take a look at this on Yesmo, brought to you by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State deal, and that was just above the belt. Then long gone out of here. Number 657 of his career. Pitch is popped up down the left field side, and this is going to be out of play.
Okay, I have to admit it, I did not see this coming from Alex Rodriguez. Going down to spring training, not really knowing what he was going to be. He's been impressive.
Well, he made that hit number 100 here at Tropicana Field. Very impressive. Once again, the 3-2 pitch to Stephen Drew, and he takes it high for ball 4. The third walk allowed by Nathan Carnes, and there's nobody out here in the second inning.
Good at bat for Drew. Fouled off pitch after pitch. While we were talking about Alex Rodriguez and his home run, Stephen Drew, quality at bat.
And with the absence of Brett Gardner, Chris Young at the plate is getting more and more playing time. The Yankees saw him as the 4th outfielder. And with Gardner out, Young is kind of making the most of it. He's got a 5-game hitting streak going, 4 for 12 in Baltimore, with a home run and 2 doubles. He lays down a bunt, pushes it to the right side, and Alan Dykstra, the first baseman, will step on the bag. And that'll move Stephen Drew down to second. So give Young a sacrifice. 3 unassisted.
Well, you're just talking about how well he's swinging the bat. You don't know if Joe Girardi gave this sacrifice bunt. Getting congratulated by his teammates. Gets Drew into scoring position. Young is swinging the bat so well. Gregorius behind him not so well.
Batting average at 172. He does have a couple of runs batted in. He's got a runner in scoring position with 1 down. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. That'll be a ball and a strike. Gregorius, 2 hits and 10 at bats during the series at Camden Yards in Baltimore. Just joining us, the Yankees took a 1-0 lead here in the second. Long home run off the bat of Alex Rodriguez. Outside changeup, and it's 2 balls and a strike on Gregorius.
Carnes does not throw that changeup often, but back to Gregorius. Didi off to a rough start in the field a little bit, not swinging the bat that great, some base running mistakes. And a good hitter's count right here with an RBI opportunity.
Foul tipped into the glove of Bobby Wilson.
Well, we've seen 2 fastballs this at bat, and both of them have been powered right by him. A little bit late with the fastball.
Two-two pitch, and it's hit in the air, popped up to short left field. Coming on is left fielder Jennings, and he gets there and makes the catch for the second out of the inning. Drew remains at second base, and the lineup will turn over for Jacoby Ellsbury.
Center fielder, Jacoby Ellsbury.
Ellsbury looking for his first run batted in of the season. This would be a good time to get it. Man on second with 2 down. No shift with Ellsbury at the plate. And a breaking ball is a little bit high for ball 1. On the ground, and it's a foul ball. And his first baseman, Alan Dykstra. And if name sounds familiar to many of you fans out there, of course, Lenny Dykstra, longtime Major League outfielder, with the Mets and the Phillies primarily, but no relation to Alan Dykstra. You were talking about Carnes and either very good or very bad, and you look at his record at AAA. He went 9-9 with a 5.08 ERA. Pitch on the ground, snared nicely by Carnes. He flips to Dykstra, and that'll do it for the Yankees here in the second inning. But they do pick up a run and take the lead. This one is gone. Number 657 for Alex Rodriguez. Is the official hybrid vehicle of the Yankees. Here's how the question starts tonight. Were the Cubs right to delay the promotion of Chris Bryant, and why? Follow Yes Network and tweet your responses using hashtag Yankee Prius to keep the conversation going. And here's the answer. From Yankee Classic 46, yes, because it makes sense. By waiting, the Cubs will have control over his contract as he begins to enter his prime. First pitch to Desmond Jennings is in there for a call strike. I bet you after today, Chris Bryant wishes they delayed it by one more day. He went 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. And the Cubs lost to the Padres. And pitches outside for a ball. No, I shouldn't say that. I mean, when you get called up to the big leagues, you're very happy.
You know, I watched his first at bat against James Shields, and Shields put that changeup to use. A couple of changeups inside, using the aggressiveness of a young hitter against him. But, you know, I could see it from both sides, Kenny. As a young player, you have a spring training like he had, 9 home runs. You're fully expecting to make the team, and you should. But as an organization, they did the right thing. You know, you send them down for a little bit. Now you get a full year on the back end of it, an extra year. You know, all young players get those options out of the way.
Line drive to Gregorius, and Jennings is out number 1.
Get the options out of the way if you're a young player and get yourself up to the big leagues. He had his opportunity today, and obviously a day he'll never forget, hugging his dad. Standing ovation, batting cleanup, Kenny. I can't even imagine that type of pressure.
And it's James Shields on the mound. Makes a nice play here at third. The Cubs actually said they sent him down to the minors to work on his defense. Evidently he did. Here's Alan Dykstra, who takes a pitch outside for a ball.
Now that's what they said. They sent him down for his defense.
Yeah. He turned a nice double play in the game too.
But in reality,
yeah, it was all about the base, no trouble.
And you know, I look at it this way: if you're an organization, why not just be honest about it and say, listen, we have a full year on the back end, an extra year that we get. We're crazy if we don't do it.
1 ball, 1 strike on Dykstra. And a breaking ball hangs outside, 2 balls and a strike. And right now we're going to go to Meredith Marakovich, who has more on what happened in Chicago today.
Well, Kenny, it's funny you bring up that defense. He was asked how he felt he did after the game, and he said, sure, I could have done a little better out there, but there are 2 sides to the ball. I felt I did well defensively. Offensively, you think it's going to come. First time in the majors batting cleanup. Flash, you alluded to the fact that he had been feeling a tremendous amount of pressure, but he did say, today I got to tell my family that my dream is coming true. Can't really put into words what that feels like. So excited for this journey, and he definitely has a bright future ahead of him in Chicago.
That is a very high fly ball into center field, and Ellsbury signaled to everybody that he saw it, and he makes the catch for the out. And that's one thing you'll see outfielders and infielders do from time to time here because of the roof. Can you see it? Well, there it comes. Ellsbury did, and he makes the catch for out number 2. You know, it's interesting that Bryant started his career at Wrigley Field, because when I got called up to the big leagues, my first game was at Wrigley Field. Yeah, 0 for 4. Here's Logan Forsythe, the third baseman, and the first pitch a little outside for ball 1.
Now, you didn't strike out 3 times.
No, I didn't. You know what? My first time up, I grounded out. I was just happy I hit the ball. Pitch is fouled off. Not everybody's like you, Flash, and gets a hit their first time up.
All right, now here's where did you hit in the lineup?
Third.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you know what it feels like.
Yeah.
That's a lot of pressure for a young guy.
Yeah, got up in the first inning. I know that. Ball and a strike on Forsythe. And that's in there for a strike. I think, well, Gil Hodges was the manager of the Mets in those days, and I think he wanted to make me feel comfortable because I batted third in the minor leagues. So,
good thing for me, I hit 9th in the minor leagues and I hit 9th in the big leagues, so I was comfortable there too.
1-2 pitch, and that just missed, and it's 2-2. In fact, I went 0 for my first 11. Didn't get a hit in Chicago. Had to wait till I went to Montreal next stop.
We had plenty of them after that.
2-2 pitch, and Forsythe hits it hard and into center field for a base hit. Chris Young over to cut it off. Forsythe takes a big turn, but will hold on at first base, a 2-out single. Third hit for the Rays.
We've seen a couple of sliders from Adam Warren that he's just not quite finishing down and away. Kind of spinning up in the zone. Forsythe takes care of it there. Souza Jr. did the same thing in the first inning. Just kind of spins and doesn't have that real good finish.
Here's Tim Beckham. former #1 draft pick of the Rays in 2008. In fact, #1 overall. From Georgia, swings and misses, strike one. He's got 2 home runs this year, Beckham does, and both of them are pinch hit homers. He's got 2 pinch hit home runs and a pinch hit triple. And he was also robbed of a home run in Toronto. That great catch by Kevin Pillar. That pitch just misses the outside corner. It's a ball and a strike. So with Longoria as a designated hitter tonight, Beckham in the lineup at second base, and Forsythe, a very versatile player, moves over to third. There's a breaking ball in there for a strike. Some first round picks, Tampa Bay franchise history. Josh Hamilton in '99. Dwan Brazelton, remember him? Pitcher. B.J. Upton, Delman Young, Jeff Neiman, Evan Longoria, David Price, and Tim Beckham. Outside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's some big names on that list.
Well, you bring up Brazelton. He actually got called up in a September call-up when I was still playing here. And I was called into the office and told that I had to spend the month of September with him, going through pitch selections in the dugout. And I mean, this kid just came from college. He's in the big leagues. He doesn't want to listen to me. He just wants to enjoy himself.
Count remains 2-2. So
it didn't quite work out. The advice I gave him.
I got a question. Was this on and off the field or just on the field?
No. Just on the field.
Oh, okay.
No, it wasn't off the field.
Right.
He didn't want to partake in my habits off the field. That's for sure.
So when he showed up for work every day, you were sitting at his locker.
I had to be there in the clubhouse and the dugout, talking to him about pitch selection and setting hitters up. And didn't quite work out.
2-2 pitch is fouled off. Yeah, I do remember him. Big, strong right-hander.
Oh, look at that list, that graphic. A lot of great players obviously picked here early in round 1 for Tampa Bay.
Well, they've been waiting on Beckham for a few years now, and looks like this year might be his opportunity. He might be finding his niche as a pinch hitter with 2 pinch hit homers and a pinch hit triple. Runner goes. The pitch is swung on and missed, strike 3. First strikeout of the night for Adam Warren. Gets him out of trouble here in the second. At the end of 2, it's 1-0 Yankees. ERA. The Detroit Tigers off to a very good start. Not only they're pitching well, they are hitting well too, but their team ERA, starting pitcher ERA is 1.61. The Rays are just behind the Athletics. Rays at 3.38, followed by the Astros and the Royals.
Well, Nathan Karns back out for the top of the third inning. The Yankees leading 1-0. A long home run by Alex Rodriguez. They'll face Chase Headley, Carlos Beltran, and Mark Teixeira. On our Audi A3 scoreboard, Yankees 1-0. Tampa Bay 3 hits. Kenny, we looked at the ERA for the starting rotations. Not a surprise here in Tampa Bay. It's always been a strength of their ball club. I think the one big surprise, all the injuries that they have had, and they're still able to put up those early numbers.
Yeah, Alex Cobb has yet to throw a pitch this season. He was out with an arm strain. And Alex Colomé with pneumonia. There's Alex Cobb. They expect Cobb back pretty soon. He was going to be the opening day starter. That honor went to Chris Archer.
Check swing from Headley. They appeal down to third base. Jerry Lane makes a call. The third strikeout for Karns. And here you see all the injured Rays. Jake McGee, their closer, had elbow surgery. Jaso out with a wrist. Matt Moore, 60-day DL. Tommy John surgery. He should be coming back at some point this year.
Drew Smiley was supposed to be in the rotation. He's had shoulder issues. But he too has been throwing pretty well down in the minors and might be back soon.
Carlos Beltran, his second plate appearance. First time he walked. Really puts a little bit of pressure on the Yankees here this weekend in Tampa Bay, knowing they have 4 games against Detroit. You mentioned how hot they have been early on. He's got to find a way to get it going here in Tampa Bay this weekend.
That's without Justin Verlander. Their talented Cy Young Award winner. Don't adjust your sets, huh, Flash?
Wow. I like the sunglasses inside the dome at Tropicana Field also for a night game.
Oh, man.
Swing and a miss. 4th strikeout on the night for Karns. Back to back, Headley and Beltran go down.
First baseman.
I think it's because he didn't want anybody to recognize him.
Two down will bring up Mark Teixeira. Curveball drops in there for strike 1. Mark walked his first at bat. And the Rays employing the shift against Teixeira. This one hammered the other way. Jennings going back on the track, feeling for the wall just in front of it. So Teixeira drives it the other way, but a quick 1-2-3 inning for Nathan Karns. Yankees still lead 1-0. years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in True HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, a pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go back after this game and watch another game. Watch a West Coast game tonight on one of my devices.
Now, are you an iPad device or the phone?
iPad.
I'm with you.
And I think I'd get eye strain looking at my phone for 3 hours.
On our Audi A3 scoreboard, the Yankees lead 1-0. Bobby Wilson hitting ninth, first pitch swinging, pops it up. Chase Headley settling underneath. It's a 1 pitch, 1 out for Adam Warren here in the bottom of the third. Let's take a look at our Jeep hitter scouting report on Kevin Kiermaier. As he comes up here, and Kenny mentioned this early on, he is off to a red-hot start. 8 extra base hits, that's the most in the league. And he's taken over center field. Desmond Jennings now in left field. That tells you about his defensive abilities. And he was the 941st player taken in the 2010 draft. That is the 31st round. For all you young players out there in high school and college, and you get drafted later on, all it takes is an opportunity, and Kiermaier taking advantage of that. Swings and misses at a fastball. Adam Warren quickly ahead, 0-2.
I had a reputation in the minor leagues as a good defender. We saw him briefly last year here with the Rays, but looked like his bat is catching up to his glove.
I always thought of Desmond Jennings as a good center fielder, so it says a lot to me moving over to left field.
Well, when B.J. Upton at the time left to go to the Braves, they moved Jennings over to center. Of course, B.J. has now become Melvin. And he's in San Diego after going to Atlanta, signing that big deal.
Kiermaier grounded out to Mark Teixeira his first at bat. After being behind 0-2, he's worked the count back to full. The 3-2 from Adam Warren. We'll do it again. Another 3-2 pitch. Fouled off.
Kiermaier played 108 games last year for the Rays, hit .263, respectable, with 10 home runs. After hitting .305 in 34 games and a AAA Durham.
It's this one right back up the middle. Adam Warren knocks it down and is able to get Kiermaier by a half a step. Nice job fielding your position, Adam Warren.
Ball hit sharply back through the middle, and Warren reacts to it. Got a piece of it with the glove, knocked it down, recovers, stayed under control. That's what I like, and made the quick throw. Kiermaier could get down the line, and Warren picks up out number 2.
With 2 down, it's going to bring up Steven Souza Jr. playing right field tonight. Had a base hit his first at bat. Had a little hanging slider and drilled it to left center field. First pitch swinging, another pop up. Gregorius settling underneath it, so an easy 1-2-3 inning for Adam Warren, kind of settling in here. We'll be back for the top of the 4th. Reds lead 1-0 on a long Alex Rodriguez home run, his third of the year. Be Brian McCann to lead it off here in the fourth, followed by A-Rod and Stephen Drew. Brian had an RBI opportunity in the first inning, popped up to second base. The batting average now under 200 at 192. Facing Nathan Carnes, who misses with an off-speed pitch. The Rays come into this game 6-4 on the young season. Good curveball for a strike. All of the injuries, all of the young players, and a rookie manager. I think anybody would have signed up here for a 6-4 start. Good changeup for strike two.
Yeah, Kevin Cash, the youngest manager in the major leagues. He's 37 years old.
There's a fastball that catches Brian McCann looking, the fifth strikeout for Carnes. One down will bring up Alex Rodriguez. Hearing it a little bit from the fans here in Tampa Bay.
One way to quiet the fans is what he did his first time up. You can see his solo home run.
Well, we're going to throw it out to Meredith Marakovitz, who is out where the ball landed. Alex Rodriguez, third home run. And Meredith, you're a long way away from us.
An absolutely long way away. Right around here is where that ball landed, guys. 471 feet away. So there's no disputing the fact that it was a blast, and that was by MLB Advanced Media that came up with that. 471 feet. So big home run for Alex Rodriguez, who so far has really been the most consistent hitter for the Yankees.
Well, somebody get a cab and get Meredith back here.
It might take her a half hour to walk back to the booth from there. Thank you, Meredith.
No problem, guys.
Well, Carnes is changing it up a little bit. Alex hit a fastball his first at bat. It's been all off speed here the second at bat. Now goes with a fastball, a chopper to third. Forsythe comes up with it, an easy play, throwing it on the run. If you're just tuning in, this happened in the second inning.
High fastball. High and deep. As Meredith said, 471 feet. That is a long, long way. Whew. That was his 25th career home run here at Tropicana Field.
Stephen Drew takes a strike. His first at bat, a walk, and a good at bat. Fouled off a lot of tough pitches in that at bat. Fouls another one straight back. Like it got home plate umpire Hunter Wentelstadt.
Here's Hunter.
2 thumbs up. He's good.
Yeah. Hunter's dad, Harry, the late Harry Wendelstadt, was quite an umpire. Excellent umpire. Back in the day when I was playing. He had the look of a major league umpire. Just authoritative.
A scowl?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, he was friendly enough. He looked like a guy you kind of joke, but you didn't want to mess with him, though. You know what I mean? And Hunter himself has become a very fine umpire.
This will be the 70th pitch for Nathan Carnes. Going to the changeup a little bit more here the last couple of innings.
In fact, his dad used to run an umpiring school. They graduated a lot of major league umpires.
Again, Stephen Drew having another good at bat. He's behind in the count early, has worked his way back to a full count. See what Carnes comes with here. 3-2 goes with a fastball, and Drew hits it well to right field. This one is out of here. His third home run of the year. So Stephen Drew worked his way back, got a fastball on a full count, and the Yankees lead 2-0.
Well, that's a milestone home run for Stephen Drew, as it gives the Yankees a 2-0 lead. The Yankees have 2 hits, and both of them are home runs. And you're going to take a look at it. Drew gets underneath it, drives it back to right field, and Steven Souza Jr. is going to watch it fly into the seats. Number 3 on the season, and the 100th home run of Stephen Drew's career. Hopefully he'll get that ball back.
So the batting average probably not where Stephen wants it to be, but power right there. 3 home runs. A couple of real good at bats tonight. Should be a positive sign for him. Young hammers one down the left field line. It's going to be foul.
Well, here are the brothers that have hit at least 100 home runs in Major League history. Joe and Vince DiMaggio at 486. Both of them with, of course, Joe hit most of those 2. Cleveland, Ken Boyer, Brett and Aaron Boone, J.D. and Stephen Drew, 342 home runs together. You saw the Alomars, Roberto and Sandy Alomar Jr. And a few other brothers on that list. Justin and Melvin Upton and Dimitri and Delman Young. And Bob and Irish Musial. Bob Musial actually played for the Yankees for a while, so that's nice. Sit around the Thanksgiving table and each of you got 100 home runs, for the family, 100 or more. So now the Drews are on that list.
Make the meal taste just a little bit sweeter.
This year, yeah.
Chris Young sacrificed bunt his first at bat. He's worked it back to a full count now. See if Carnes goes to that fastball that he threw to Drew, or maybe goes off speed. It is the fastball. Pulls it foul.
You know what's interesting about J.D. and Stephen Drew? To me, they have very similar swings. Both left-handed hitters. Both good high ball hitters. Usually, left-hand hitters like that ball down.
They both seem to me to have the same type of demeanor too. Just very even keeled. Don't show a whole lot of emotion.
Stephen Drew hit a high fastball for that pinch hit grand slam in Baltimore off Tommy Hunter.
We'll do it again. Another 3-2 pitch to Young. This one fouled again down the left field line. Well, we've seen it all from Nathan Carnes tonight. The ability to strike out some hitters, but when he makes some mistakes with that fastball that is straight, can end up in the seats. 2 runs for the Yankees, both on home runs.
Ooh. That one got the catcher, Bobby Wilson. Right down the middle, fouled off the mask. Home plate umpire Hunter Wonderstadt kind of walked it out to the mound, threw the next ball at the Carnes. Then he cleans home plate, gives the catcher a little breather. Catchers appreciate that, don't they, Flash?
They certainly do, and it goes both ways. When an umpire gets beat up a little bit, catchers will do the same thing. Looks like Bobby Wilson ready to go. Chris Young has been getting plenty of fastballs on 3-2 counts. Carnes goes with the breaking ball and a good at bat for Young.
And 5 strikeouts for Carnes and now 4 walks in the game. And you can see that pitch count getting elevated up to 82 with 2 outs here in the 4th. And here comes Jim Hickey in his 9th year as the pitching coach.
Brooklyn Nets are in the playoffs Sunday afternoon on Yes. The Nets and Hawks open up round 1 in Atlanta as Brooklyn's Deron Williams and Brook Lopez look to upset the top team in the East. Complete coverage of Game 1 starts at 5 o'clock with the Verizon Fios Nets pregame right here on Yes.
Yeah, they got to play the Hawks. That's not going to be an easy go.
They're in.
They're in
the dance.
They're in the dance. You know, many a wild card team has won a World Series.
With 2 down, will bring up the number 9 hitter, Didi Gregorius. Fly ball to left field, his first at bat. First pitch swinging, fouls it off. Brook Lopez kind of picked up his game at the end right after coming back from an injury.
He made the playoff push.
Yeah. Chris Young taking his lead. Not running. And the Rays pretty much playing Gregorius straight up. Kiermaier in center field, shading him a little bit the other way. Changeup pulled foul. Nathan Carnes has to be one of those projects for Jim Hickey, the pitching coach. Kenny, he's got good stuff. Using the changeup a little bit more here than he did early on in the game. The ability to strike some people out, but also walks a bunch and gives up some home runs. Good curveball there.
You know, I think one thing you mentioned the changeup, and I think all Rays pitchers develop that pitch. Yep, Didi did hold up. Another look at the breaking ball, just low.
It'll be a 2-2 to Gregorius. There's that changeup and another strikeout for Carnes. He's only given up 2 hits in this ball game. Both of them have been home runs. Stephen Drew, that's his 3rd of the year. The Yankees lead 2-0. Pest control down to a science. And by Chase, with more ways to serve you in your neighborhood and on the go. And by Chrysler. Visit Chrysler.com or your local dealer today. Adam Warren back out for the bottom of the 4th. A 2-0 lead on our Lincoln scoreboard. 2 hits for the Yankees, both home runs, 3 hits for the Rays. Both clubs doing a nice job defensively. Good curveball to quickly get ahead, 0-2.
Kind of unusual flash for Asdrubal Cabrera, who was a free agent at the end of last year. signed a one-year deal here with the Rays. And can become a free agent again at the end of this year.
A lot of conversation in spring training if he would play second base or shortstop. He won that shortstop job, and I guess concerned over maybe the range has diminished a little bit through the years.
Now, he said he didn't mind playing either one of the positions.
This ball looked like it got caught up in a catwalk. Kenny, after playing here for 5 years from '98 through '02, they have changed every rule with the catwalks here through the years, and actually have done a pretty good job of clearing out some of the clutter up there.
I wonder who went up there and did it. That ball stayed up there.
That
didn't
ball
come
stayed
down.
up there.
Yeah.
Remember the opening game, 1998. All these engineers said that the catwalks would never come into play. It was like ping pong that first year up there. Good pitch by Adam Warren, a slider down and in to pick up his second strikeout, first out here in the fourth.
Well, I don't think engineers have ever hit a Major League Baseball. Now, he says that the ball hit he foul tipped it and the ball hit the dirt, but the umpires disagree. And Asdrubal Cabrera has struck out, become the second strikeout victim for Adam Warren.
With one down to be Evan Longoria, hit into a double play, nicely turned by Chase Headley and Drew to end the first inning.
We mentioned that Longoria has hit more home runs against the Yankees than any other player since 2008. 28 of them. Only one other third baseman has hit more home runs against the Yankees than Evan Longoria, and it was Brooks Robinson of the Orioles. But it took him 23 years to hit 34 home runs.
Well, Longoria is so tough. Obviously a good hitter with power, but you put him in Yankee Stadium in the short porch in right field.
Yeah.
It just seems like he flips balls the other way that find the seats.
The face of the franchise here in Tampa Bay. Played every single game last year. Started every game.
Fights off a 1-2 fastball inside.
And only two other players, Flash, did that. Started every game last year. Freddie Freeman in Atlanta and Alcides Escobar, the shortstop for the Kansas City Royals.
You just like the way he goes about his business. You mentioned playing every day, not a whole lot of fanfare. I like the way he handled last night's situation. Slaps this one right back up the middle. Gregorius comes up with it in the dirt, and Mark Teixeira cannot come up with it. But Gregorius showing some good range going to his left, a low throw. Teixeira, who usually makes this play, just can't come up with it.
Well, ranging far to his left, going down to a knee and then spinning. And then in the haste, throwing the ball in the dirt. That ball had been a little further away from Teixeira in the dirt. It would have been an easier reception, but instead it's kind of up on him and coming quickly, and it's kind of in and out of the glove. And that's going to go as an infield single.
With one down, it'll bring up Desmond Jennings at a line drive to shortstop, his first at bat. Takes a fastball in off the plate for ball one.
You can see Teixeira almost, ball hits him in the heel of the glove, and as he tries to squeeze it, it comes out. That would have been a heck of a play all around. Jennings had a heck of a spring training flash. Hit .435 in the spring, and you know it gets to that point, you're hitting that well down, and you figure, man, I'm wasting these hits down here.
I was wondering, if you're that hot during spring training, have you ever really figured out how to get out of a slump if you're struggling? You know, usually there's that one mechanical key that will get you back on track. You wonder if Jennings has that figured out with a hot spring.
Well, he's starting tonight. You figure you're going to have to cool off sometime. right? He started the night at 235, but he did hit the ball hard his first time. He lined out to short.
Yes, he did. Behind the count here, 1-2 to Adam Warren as Longoria takes a very modest lead at first. Fastball in off the plate. You know, Kenny, I noticed when Jennings hit a ground ball foul down the third base line, Charlie Montoyo, longtime manager of Durham, the AAA team for the Rays, getting a chance in the big leagues this year. There's Charlie. Breaking ball misses off the plate, and on the other side of the field, Rocco Baldelli. Remember him, right?
Yeah, the Woonsocket Rocket.
Yeah.
#1 draft pick of the Rays. He showed quite a bit of promise when he first came up. He could really run and play center field.
He was a young player who came to spring training while I was still there, and just one of the nicest guys and had all the talent in the world. 3-2 count. Longoria is running a slider down, ball 4. Well, the Rays have something going here in the bottom of the 4th.
Well, take a look at the Woonsocket Rocket, Rocco Baldelli. There he is, making a nice catch. And he had some kind of speed. But injuries and illness shortened his career. And it didn't quite turn out the way they thought it was going to be. But he takes over as the first base coach for the Rays.
Yeah, the illness was the weird thing, right? It was like muscle fatigue. And tired easily. And he's been with the Rays organization for years, now getting an opportunity as first base coach.
Yes, several changes on the coaching staff along with the manager. You know, longtime third base coach Tom Foley is now the bench coach. Foley had been 13 seasons as the third base coach for the Rays. There he is. I got to ask him if he's glad to be off the base paths. You know, you don't have to wear that helmet anymore. You don't have to dodge line drives.
I'll tell you what, if you're a rookie manager like Kevin Cash, that is not a bad man to have standing next to you all night. Tom Foley has seen it all at the big league level.
He's been with the Rays since the beginning.
Yes, he has. Worked in the minor leagues at the beginning and came up to the big leagues as Dykstra hammers one to right field. Is it fair? Is it foul? It is a fair ball off the foul pole. So Dykstra with a 3-run blast, his first of the season, gives the Rays a 3-2 lead.
No problems getting that ball back. It came back on the field. That's his first major league home run, and it puts the Rays in front.
It all started with an infield hit to Longoria, a walk by Jennings, and a 3-run blast by Dykstra.
Dykstra had been 1 for 15 until now. Just a matter whether it's fair or foul, and you can see it's the screen.
Is that down and in for a left-handed hitter, Kenny? They all seem to love it down there. Just sweeps it off of the screen on the foul pole.
Yep, see him drop the head, get the good wood on it. And it's coming and hits the pole, and you see it drop, so he'll get that ball back.
0-2 pitch up and in on Forsythe. Well, you'll never forget it. First big league home run off of Adam Warren against the Yankees, a 3-run shot. This one's hit well by Forsythe to left center. Ellsbury going back-to-back home runs for the Rays. Second home run of the year for Forsythe. The Rays now take a 4-2 lead.
Another pitch. This one's center. So a couple of fastballs turned around by the Rays here. Dykstra and now Forsythe, and the Rays, who were trailing 2-0 entering the bottom of the fourth, now lead 4-2. Had the sound, it's certainly the distance. That's another long home run.
Second baseman, Tim Beckham.
There have been 4 home runs hit in this ball game. A couple of solo shots by the Yankees. Alex Rodriguez and Stephen Drew. 3 runs shot by Dykstra and another solo shot right there. The Rays showing a little bit of power. They only had 10 home runs coming into the game. That's 7th in the league. Those numbers getting a little bit better. Slider and a line drive right at Gregorius. 2 down.
Yeah, depending on what Baltimore does tonight, the Yankees are tied for the league leading home runs with 15. And there's the home run ball, the first home run for Alan Dykstra.
Two down will be Bobby Wilson. Catching tonight for the Rays. They got in early in the morning. Bobby Wilson gets a start, hitting .300 on the young year. Warren trying to work his way out of the bottom of the 4th inning. A slider backs up inside. Bobby Wilson ahead in the count, 2-1.
Yeah, one thing about the travel you mentioned, the Rays getting in early, is Ismail Rogers gets up to throw. You know, I don't think fans are totally aware of how major league teams get around this country. I mean, they travel, 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. They get into the next town on extended road trips.
Played a night game in Toronto. There's a walk to Bobby Wilson. So the struggles in the bottom of the 4th continuing for Adam Warren.
Every team goes through it where you get it. You have some nights where you get in, or some mornings I should say, when you get in very early.
Two down, back to the top of the lineup. Kevin Kiermaier. A couple of ground outs tonight. Slider misses off the plate. Chase Headley in on the turf, expecting the possibility of a bunt from Kiermaier. Good low strike. That's the one thing we've seen from home plate umpire Hunter Wentelstadt tonight. Giving some low strikes to both sides.
Kiermaier doesn't get cheated when he swings. He swings like a number 3 hitter or 4 hitter.
Behind in the count here, 1-2 with 2 outs. See if he shortens up that swing, just tries to put it in play. Bobby Wilson taking a modest lead. Here's the 1-2, and it's a breaking ball. Ground ball that Drew comes in over to Teixeira. So the bottom of the 4th finally over. Alan Dykstra's first major league home run, a 3-run shot, gives the Rays a lead. Forsythe comes back with a solo bomb. The Rays lead 4-2.
1984, the Tigers went on to win the World Series, beating the San Diego Padres 4-2. Tampa Bay leading the Yankees as we go to the top of the 5th inning. On the Bigelow T scoreboard. For the Yankees, be the top of the order. Be Ellsbury, Headley, and Beltran. Ellsbury so far tonight 0 for 2. The Yankees for the first time trailing this ball game. It's now 4-2. Ellsbury takes a pitch for a call strike. And for the first time tonight, Nathan Karns has the lead. He's allowed just 2 hits. Both of them are home runs. Solos by Alex Rodriguez in the 3rd. And Stephen Drew. I make Alex Rodriguez in the 2nd and Stephen Drew in the 4th. The pitch is fouled off.
Well, Kevin Cash, a manager, trying to give him the opportunity to pick up a win. Jose Dominguez looks like he's ready to go in the pen. Well, Kenny, when you watch Karns, the fastball sits about 90 to 92, but a lot of late swings just like that right there from Ellsbury.
Might be the hitters having trouble picking it up.
I'm looking at some of the numbers today from Karns. They said his fastball was anywhere 93 to 96, so not quite there tonight, but still a lot of late swings by the Yankees.
Ellsbury bouncing ball fouled on the first base side as Dykstra comes up on it. Ellsbury, Headley, and Beltran for the Yankees here in the 5th inning. And they are on the comeback trail. Down 4-2. Broken bat roller to the right side, chasing hard and charging is Beckham, and he'll throw out Ellsbury for out number 1. Ellsbury now 0 for 3.
Another changeup. When we talked about that pitch, we're starting to see it a lot more here the last couple innings from Karns. This could be a difference maker for him. Down and away with some good movement. When you're late on the fastball that I mentioned a lot of the Yankees are tonight, you start cheating a little bit. Very vulnerable to that changeup. Good pitch.
Here's Headley looking to make contact. He struck out his first 2 times, and he'll take a pitch in there for a call strike from Nathan Karns.
Karns threw 106 pitches his last time out against Miami, so he's got a little ways to go to get to that number.
The shift is on with Headley at the plate. 3 infielders on the right side of second base. 1-1 pitch is fouled off. Ball and 2 strikes on Chase Headley. A lot of major league players out of good college programs. Headley's one. He's at a University of Tennessee. The pitch is outside, 2-2. Headley played in the College World Series in Omaha in 2005. Shortly thereafter, picked by the San Diego Padres in the draft. He was an academic All-American as well as an All-American baseball player. Pitch is fouled off.
It's like showing off, isn't it? I mean, you're a really good athlete, you're an All-American on the field, and then you go in the classroom and you do the same thing.
Yeah, academic All-American, yeah. 2-2 pitch, and it's fouled off. Count will hold. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chase Headley. It just shows he's a well-rounded individual. Probably likes all types of music. Dominguez and Ernesto Frieri up in the Rays bullpen. Call strike 3. So it's a hat trick for Chase Headley as he is struck out for the 3rd time. Fans, later tonight on Yes, catch a new episode of the Emmy-winning series Forbes Sports Money for a look at the booming value of college sports, including what's behind the surge in revenue from March Madness. It's a new Forbes Sports Money tonight after the post game, only on Yes. See, we're talking about college, and then you can find all about what's going on in college sports money-wise. Here's Beltran, who's walked and struck out. He's 0 for 1. That is high and away. 2 balls, no strikes. We mentioned Beltran, 999 hits in the American League to go along with 1,329 in the National League. So Trying to reach that round number of 1,000. That pitches in their first strike, and it's 2-1. Strike 2 call. Carnes fights back to even the count at 2-2. Looks like Beltran is looking for something else. Full count. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Carlos Beltran. You saw Teixeira. He'll be on deck.
A 2-run lead. You would expect a fastball right here if you're Beltran. 3-2 count.
There's the payoff pitch, and it's foul at the plate. We'll do it all over again.
If you're Carnes, you're at your pitch count pretty much right here, 105. You're thinking one more good fastball to try to get out of this 5th inning with a lead. Kevin Cash, rookie manager, looking on.
Flash called it. So did Wilson. Here's the fastball, and he's fouled back.
There's sometimes in big league ball games where everybody in the park knows what pitch is coming. I got a 2-run lead. I'm going to throw fastballs out over the plate, challenge you to put it in play. Right back at it.
Here it comes again. Beltran hits it to the right side. Beckham has it in short right field, throws the first. And that's it for the Yankees here in the 5th inning. They go in order. 1-2-3 against Nathan Carnes. Banquet. And let's go back a ways to April 17th, 1951. Mickey Mantle goes 1 for 4 with an RBI in his major league debut. And also the voice of Yankee Stadium, Bob Shepard, makes his debut as the Yankees PA announcer. New pitcher for the New York Yankees as Joe Girardi's made the Verizon call to the bullpen. It's going to be Esmail Rogers who will come on in relief of Adam Warren. Went 4 innings, giving up 4 runs on 6 hits with a couple of strikeouts and 2 walks. Rogers will face Steven Souza Jr. and the first pitch is poured over the outside corner for a called strike. There are the numbers as Rogers making his 4th appearance. A Bigelow T scoreboard, 4-2 Tampa Bay. That pitch is in their first strike. Here we are on the bottom of the 5th inning.
It's got to be a disappointing start for Adam Warren. First 3 innings seemed like he was finding a nice rhythm, and then it got away from him there in the 4th.
That's upstairs. Esmail Rogers became the Yankees' last pitcher in the 4 2/3 innings in that 19-inning game. He was the last man standing as the Red Sox went on to win that game. They score 6-5. The 1-2 pitch to Souza, and it's in the dirt. 2-2. Souza, Cabrera, and Longoria for the Rays here in the 5th. There's Adam Warren.
Well, you can see the look on his face, and I'm sure the thoughts going through his head. How did this just happen? I mean, I was cruising through 3. A guy by the name of Alan Dykstra that I don't really know a whole lot about. It's a 3-run jack, and I lose the lead.
Breaking ball. Souza caught looking. And Rogers strikes out the first man he faces.
Good curveball from Rogers. You know, thinking back to Adam Warren, the slider wasn't a good pitch for him tonight. That's a quality breaking ball right there by Rogers. The slider wasn't great. Gave up a few hits with that, but I think that one pitch that missed down and in to Dykstra, 3-run home run, is probably the pitch he's thinking about right now.
Here's Asdrubal Cabrera, who broke an 0 for 19 with a single in the first inning and then struck out in the 4th. So he's 1 for 21 as he takes a pitch in there for a called strike.
Yeah, but in his mind, he's thinking I'm 1 for 2.
Yeah,
hot.
That's right. I think that's the way all hitters think. Got to be positive. Swing and a miss. No balls and 2 strikes.
Esmil Rogers coming out of the Yankee bullpen with a quality breaking ball. Not afraid to throw it early, quickly ahead in the count, 0-2.
Long man out of the bullpen tonight.
When you think about a big league bullpen, a lot of the guys at the back end get all the attention. Andrew Miller, Betances, and rightfully so. But in games like this, the long man becomes extremely important.
Just got a piece of it and fouled it off.
Down by 2 runs. You got to come in out of that bullpen throwing strikes. Throw up a couple of zeros for an inning or 2, maybe 3. Give your club a chance to get back in this thing.
They say the money on the pitching staff is in the starting rotation and the guy who closes the games. Another off-speed pitch, and Cabrera just got a piece of that and fouls it off. Might have noticed that Cabrera wears number 13. He's from Venezuela. A lot of Venezuelan shortstops wore that number. David Concepcion, Ozzie Guillen, Omar Vizquel, all quality shortstops. And that's why Cabrera wears that number. The 1-2 pitch, and it's low, 2-2. This is the start of a 9-game homestand for the Rays. They've got the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Jays coming in, facing off against division opponents. 2-2 pitch, and it's low and inside. Count is full at 3-2.
Well, this homestand will be a good test for the Rays, coming in 6-4. Yankees, Red Sox, and Blue Jays, all teams that are expected to be at the top of the division. The Rays, not a whole lot of expectations. They're off to a good start.
And we showed you a graphic earlier as to one of the reasons why their starting rotation has put together a pretty good showing so far. 3-2 pitch. Bouncing ball to the right side. Teixeira has it behind the bag. Will flip to Rogers, and that's out number 2. Extended at bat for Asdrubal Cabrera. Ends in a ground out to first base.
Number 3, Evan Longoria.
So 2 up, 2 down here in the 5th inning. Bring up Evan Longoria. He got it started for the Rays last inning with a single. Eventually came around to score on Dykstra's 3-run homer. He's also grounded into a double play, so he's 1 for 2. Slightly open stance, holds the bat high over his head. And the slider is down and away in the dirt for ball 1.
It's all the little plays, Kenny. You know, Longoria starts it with an infield hit. Gregorius does a great job going to his left, a low throw, and Mark Teixeira can't pick it out of the dirt. And that play is executed. 2 quick outs for Adam Warren. You wonder if things might be a little different. The Yankees couldn't execute.
That breaking ball hits the corner, and it's a ball and a strike. The shift is on with Longoria at the plate. 3 infielders on the left side. And he jumps back out of the way, and it's 2-1. Seems like they try and move him off the plate, go away with breaking balls. I figured if I know it, he knows it. That was a fastball away, and it's strike 2. Right to the glove. Fouled off. Now last night, Giancarlo Stanton hit his 155th career home run to pass Dan Uggla as the Marlins all-time leading home run hitter. The only active major leaguer who holds that distinction on his team is Evan Longoria. He's got the most home runs in Rays history with 185. 22 more than Carlos Pena, who used to wear out the Yankees. Pitch is fouled out of play. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, nobody on. Esmil Rogers here in the bottom of the 5th in relief of Adam Warren, trying to have a 1-2-3 inning. Three balls and 2 strikes.
Rogers had enough confidence to throw a 3-2 breaking ball to Cabrera. We'll see if he does the same thing here to Longoria.
That's what you're supposed to be watching in the on-deck circle. Here is the payoff pitch. And it's low for ball 4. It was a breaking ball. So Rogers will not have that 1-2-3 inning. And the inning will continue for Desmond Jennings. Now, one thing the Rays are doing tonight, they're trying to buck a trend. Every game that they played this year, all 10 games, the team that scored first won the game. And tonight, of course, the Yankees scored first in the 2nd inning on Alex Rodriguez's home run, but the Rays now have the lead at 4-2. And you say, how important is scoring first? Well, it's been important to the Rays, but throughout Major League Baseball, it's important as well. Jennings will take a pitch for a ball. The team that has scored first thus far in Major League Baseball is 107-32. That's 77% of the time the team that scores first has won. Now, I'm sure that will level off somewhat, but that shows you how important it is to score first in a game. 1-0 pitch is swung on and missed, and it's a ball and a strike on Jennings. Couldn't catch up to the fastball. And there's another trend that applies in Major League Baseball over the years. Usually the team that wins the game scores more runs in one inning than the other team scores in the whole game. That's in there for a strike. Longoria at first with 2 down. Still a ball and 2 strikes on Desmond Jennings. The Yankees, the only team in the division not at 500 or better. Three and 6 in the early going here. Jennings spoils another one. Count holds at 1-2. A lot of foul balls off Rogers this inning in particular.
I mentioned Rogers coming in with that good breaking ball, but he's been going right at Jennings with the fastball until that last pitch which was a slider. Larry Rothschild does a great job with all the information, pitching matchups. Seems like they want to go fastballs in on the hands of Jennings if they can.
Ball pulled foul. Longoria fouled off several pitches. So did Cabrera, and now Jennings is getting into the act.
An interesting pitch selection right there. A changeup from a right-handed pitcher to a right-handed hitter.
I think we're starting to see more of that.
I was just going to say, I think it's starting to come back now. Brian McCann likes it. Greg Maddux and all those guys used to do it in Atlanta. I think it might be a Brave thing, and he's bringing it over here to the Yankees.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. He puts him away. So Rogers puts away Jennings, who was up there for quite a while, but finally strikes out. It's 4-2 Rays at the end of 5. It's Masahiro Tanaka bobblehead night, the first one in the 2015 collectible series presented by AT&T. The first 18,000 guests in attendance. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Visit the Yankee Stadium ticket windows, Yankees clubhouse shops, or call Ticketmaster at 877-469-9849. And here's Mark Teixeira leading off in the 6th inning. And Masahiro, are you pitching here tomorrow night? Yeah, see, he is. Yeah, he's going to be pitching tomorrow night. He'll be in there against Jake Odorizzi. 1 ball and 1 strike on Mark Teixeira, who has walked and flied out to left field. Yankees down by a couple. We're in the top of the 6th. And that pitch is high for a ball. The new pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. That's Masahiro. He'll be on the mound, as I said, tomorrow night. Middle game of this series. Ernesto Frieri is now due the pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays. Former Angel closer. And that is poured in there for a strike. 2-2. 4 in the 3rd innings, 5 hits, a couple walks, a couple of strikeouts. Opponents hitting .313. Two pitch, and Teixeira fouls it off. I remember when he was closing for the Angels, Flash. Frieri had a propensity for giving up the long ball, and that's not a good thing in the 9th inning. And Mike Scioscia eventually was looking for another closer.
Seeing the notes, 36 home runs since 2011, most among major league relievers.
Yep, that is not the closing type of stuff. Count is full on Teixeira, 3-2. Teixeira's got a 7-game hitting streak going. As I mentioned, 0 for 1 so far tonight. And he's facing a payoff pitch here from Frieri. And it's hit high in the air to the right side. The right fielder Souza Jr. comes on and will make the catch, and there's one down here in the 6th. The Yankees have gotten 4 walks in this game, but they only have 2 hits. And both of them were home runs. Alex Rodriguez and Stephen Drew, both with their 3rd home runs of the season. Here's Brian McCann. And he'll take the first pitch in there for a called strike. The shift remains on with McCann at the plate. And one thing you notice about Logan Forsythe, the 3rd baseman, he's playing as if he knows McCann would bunt. And this would be a situation to do so because you're down by 2 runs, trying to get on base.
Especially when you have one of your better hitters, Alex Rodriguez, waiting on deck. At his 3rd home run of the year earlier tonight.
So Forsythe's job basically over there is to guard against the bunt. And that's it. Three balls and a strike.
Well, this would be an interesting pitch, Kenny. Brian McCann's probably going to get a fastball out over the plate. Do you think about shooting it the other way and taking your hit, or do you think about doing some damage?
You take it for ball 4.
There you go.
Yeah, that's what you do, and you get on base. So Frieri does set up the tying run at the plate with Alex Rodriguez coming up. A-Rod is 1 for 2. Hit a 471-foot home run, the deepest left center field here at Tropicana Field in the 2nd inning. Then grounded out the 3rd. That was in the 4th. Little T.O. baby. Dickie V on hand. You see him quite often when the Yankees are in town. Usually sits right over near the visiting dugout.
You know who the guy he's sitting with?
No. You do, obviously.
Rico Petrocelli.
Is that Rico? Yeah. Shortstop of the Boston Red Sox years ago.
Used to be a manager of mine in AAA, Pawtucket.
Rico was a good hitting shortstop.
Yeah, he was.
One pitch. And A-Rod takes it for a strike. 1-2 from Frieri.
Yeah, the Rays playing Alex in the infield to pull. Just noticed Tim Beckham kind of moving a little bit behind second base now with 2 strikes. Alex Rodriguez will go the other way with 2 strikes.
Ball is hit deep to left field. If it's fair, it is gone. Alex Alex Rodriguez with his second home run of the night, and it's a tie ball game. That was a screamer. Alex with his third and now fourth home run of the season tonight. So following the walk to McCann, A-Rod gets into another one. May 23rd, 2012 was the last time Alex Rodriguez had a multi-home run game.
Well, you have to give him credit. 2 home runs tonight, the long one, the first one. This is just reacting with his hands. Behind in the count, 1-2.
Pitch to Stephen Drew is inside for a ball.
I mentioned he'll go the other way when he gets 2 strikes. This one runs back middle, and that's just all reaction right there, which tells you Alex Rodriguez right now is locked in. I think the flight of the baseball will also tell you he's locked in, Kenny. That ball had no hook on it at all. Yeah. Straight as a string, which means you're keeping your hands inside the baseball.
That pitch is in there for a strike. It's 1-2 on Drew. 61st multi-home run game in his career for Alex Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, and Stephen Drew has struck out.
We'll take a look at the pitch by pitch to Alex Rodriguez. Fastball on the outside corner, strike 1. Slider down, good take. Fastball outside corner, strike 2. Wants to go away, but it ends up middle in. A great reaction, just using your hands. Tie ball game.
Now with 658 career homers. Hit hard but foul by Chris Young. So the Yankees have used the long ball. Now have hit 16 on the season. Foul back by Young. And as I said, depending on what the Baltimore's done tonight in the long ball department, the Yankees lead the league in homers. Quick strike offense. No 2 pitches hit high in the air to left field. Desmond Jennings circles, makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 6th. But they pick up 2 runs, a walk to McCann, followed by this, a 2-run home run by Alex Rodriguez. It's a 4-4 ball game. 4 game. And leading off is Alan Dykstra, the Rays first baseman. And fans, this replay brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here as we take a look at the home run in slow-mo. That's a thing of beauty, like right off of the Wheaties box. Dykstra swings and misses, and it's a ball and a strike.
You know what, Kenny, what impresses me about that home run, I mean, you could get ahead in the count 3-1 if you're Alex or any other hitter, and you kind of cheat for a fastball and you hit it out, and that's great. But when you're behind 1-2,
yeah,
and you just use your hands and react, that's pretty impressive at this point for Alex Rodriguez.
1-1 pitch is popped up to the left side. Chase Headley drifts back and just onto the artificial surface, makes the catch, 1 down. Yeah, Alex had some good swings in Baltimore. I mean, pitches he was fouling off, you could see he was right on them. And then he hit that home run in Baltimore that, you know, I think you could hear the crack of the bat all the way down to Annapolis. Here's Logan Forsythe. Forsythe's having a good night. He's had a single and a home run, his second home run of the year. Tonight's been about the long ball. Pitches inside. The Yankees have hit 3. The Rays have hit 2. The Yankee bullpen is busy. Forsythe jackknives out of the way, and it's a ball and a strike. There is Justin Wilson, the left-hander's up. Ball's hit on the ground. Headley has to retreat a bit, straightens up, throws on the money, and that's out number 2. Nice play by Chase Headley. Third baseman sometime have to give ground to get the proper hop.
That's exactly what he does. He drops back a few steps, backhand, and then the transfer is easy and the strong throw.
So 2 up and 2 down, and bring up Tim Beckham, who tonight is struck out swinging and lined out to shortstop. 0 for 2. Rogers deals a strike.
And Kenny, this is a game the way it's shaping out to be right now. Battle of the bullpens at the Yankees, the way they constructed their club, have to feel pretty confident that their bullpen will be better than other bullpens in the American League and all of baseball. We'll see if it plays out that way tonight.
Pitch to Beckham, line drive, and for the second time tonight, Beckham is lined out to Didi Gregorius. So it's a 1-2-3 inning for Esmil Rogers. It's a 4-4 game. Those were the thrills of the Yankees presented by Pepsi. Upload your Yankees pride using hashtag Yankees Thrilled for your chance to win an exclusive Yankee experience. Go to Yankees.com/Yankees Thrilled for more information.
Well, we're back for the top of the 7th inning. We're all tied up 4-4. The Rays have made a pitching change. C.J. Riefenhauser has got called back up from AAA Durham today. A couple of games in Durham. He will face 9-1-2 Didi Gregorius. And a bat against a lefty, and he hammers one to center field. Easy play for Kiermaier. One down here in the 7th. Riefenhauser, a New York native from Mahopac, New York. Spent some time at Iona College. And I got to meet his father again this year, Kenny, at a cheer competition that I was at as a spectator for my daughter. CJ's dad was there. We had a chance, or CJ's dad was there, had a chance to talk. So congratulations on your son being recalled back to the big leagues. Had a couple of appearances last year.
Now, did I see where your daughter was part of a championship cheering team? Did I see that this winter?
That was a few years ago. This year, now she's at the high school level at Pearl River High School.
Okay.
And they had 4 competitions this year, won 3 out of 4 and won the state. So the Pearl River High School cheerleading squad making a name for themselves.
They won the states.
Won the states.
Congratulations.
She was the captain of the team. Not bragging or anything, but let me brag for a little bit.
Hey, if you can't brag on your kids, who can you brag on?
There you go. I like your attitude.
Yeah.
Ellsbury looking to get on. 0 for 3 tonight. Heading the count 2-1. That one's fouled off.
So way to go, Kristen, captain of the team too. That's pretty cool.
Kristen has an ACT exam tomorrow morning. You know, Kenny, those SATs and ACTs. So
I forgot about those a long time ago.
2-2 to Ellsbury. Slider misses down and away.
You know what? I think now the kids that go to history class as opposed to when I went to it, it's got to be tougher. There's so much more history now than when I was at school.
It'll be a 3-2 to Jacoby Ellsbury. Fouled off. Do it again. The story of the ball game, Alex Rodriguez, a couple of home runs.
Yankees only have 3 hits, but each one of them has been for the distance.
3-2. Fouled off again. Jacoby with a strikeout and a couple of ground balls, trying to work his way on here in the 7th inning, manufacture a run.
Also trying to keep that hitting streak intact.
Fastball misses up and in, so a good at bat for Ellsbury. Speed on the bases for the Yankees.
Third baseman, Chase Headley.
One down, that'll bring up Chase Headley. Switch over to the right-hand batter's box. Chase having a tough night, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
A little different perspective from this side of the plate, though. Let's see what happens over here.
Ellsbury, a couple of stolen bases, has been thrown out once. Riefenhauser falls behind 1-0. Rays again shifting, looking for Headley to pull the ball on the ground. Big hole between first and second. Joe Girardi wants to play a little hit and run right here. Not running.
Yeah, the whole idea is to get the one of the infielders to cover, to create a hole. The hole's already created with the way they're shifting.
Throw over. You watch Ellsbury take his lead. It doesn't look like he has a huge lead. Trying to figure out the delivery of the left-hander, see if he can get a good jump. Strike 2 on Headley. All right, Kenny, you're 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts. Now you're behind in the count 1 and 2. Try to slap it and put it in play.
Well, you're thinking, man, it's like Groundhog Day. Up here with 2 strikes again.
Ellsbury taking his lead. Again, the throw over.
Ellsbury's seen enough moves to the plate, a few throws over the first. Maybe he's got Riefenhauser gauged here.
Another throw over. And Bobby Wilson behind the plate, kind of a journeyman backup catcher. Good receiver, blocks the ball well. Say a decent thrower, an average thrower. See if Ellsbury forces the action here. Not running.
Looking at Bobby Wilson, we had that tight shot there. Is that paid advertising, or is that advertising he has? What do you think? That's what he. You think that's what he drives?
2-2 to Headley. Ellsbury not running again. A hard shot to short. Nice play over to Beckham. And the Rays turn a nice double play. Cabrera to Beckham. Over to Dykstra. So Riefenhauser gets himself in a little bit of trouble. Picks up a 6-4-3 double play. In Tampa Bay, 4-4, bottom of the 7th inning. 6 hits for the Rays, 3 for the Yankees. All 3 of those hits, the home run variety. And speaking of Meredith Marakovich, she's going to join us now to give us an update on Brett Gardner.
Well, Flash, as you know, he was not in the starting lineup for the third consecutive game after getting hit by a pitch on his right wrist the first game of the series in Baltimore. Brett Gardner was in the clubhouse earlier today and said that wrist is feeling a whole lot better. He's not overly concerned with it. In fact, he said he could play in this one if Joe Girardi would have let him. Now, we all know Joe Girardi is usually pretty cautious when he comes to his players, so he's saying maybe tomorrow will be the day. But he was out there earlier today taking a full batting practice, as you see right there. And he also had a little bit of a sleeve on his right wrist to just kind of keep that compression wrap on. And he said he'll probably wear that when he returns to the lineup. But he was campaigning to get back in there today. Joe Girardi saying, take it easy, maybe pinch running, playing defense late in the game.
Well, thank you very much, Meredith. You see Brett Gardner talking to Robbie Thompson, bench coach. Rogers doing a good job out for his third inning. Quickly ahead of Bobby Wilson, 0-2. Well, this would be the point in the game for Brett Gardner. If he's going to maybe be a pitch runner going for defense, you start to get loose, get ready. It'll be a 1-2 to Bobby Wilson from Rogers. Slapped into left field. Young comes on, a nice running play. With that out here in the seventh inning, Joe Girardi's going to take that slow walk out to the mound. Looks like he's ready to make a pitching change. Great job by Ismael Rogers coming out of the bullpen, settling things down a little bit. And a lefty coming in, Justin Wilson for the Yankees. We'll be back in a minute. Local Nissan dealer, all tied up at 4. Alex Rodriguez having a big night, 2 for 3, couple of home runs, 3 RBIs. Alan Dykstra, his first big league home run, a 3-run shot. Stephen Drew chipping in with a solo home run of his own. Justin Wilson in to face the top of the lineup for the Rays. Kevin Kiermaier. See the numbers for Wilson. Coming off a tough outing on Wednesday night in Baltimore, gave up a couple of hits. Trying to rebound a little bit here in Tampa Bay.
You mentioned a good outing by Ismael Rogers. 2 1/3, no runs, no hits, a couple of strikeouts. The only batter to reach base was Longoria on a walk.
A middle reliever coming in and settling the game down a little bit. The Yankees fought back to tie it up. Good fastball at 95 miles an hour from Wilson. (2-1) to Kiermaier. Another good fastball. was talking to Gary Tuck today, the bullpen coach for the Yankees, also does all the catching. Talking about some of the guys in the bullpen. He said, you know what, this Wilson kid has a big arm. He's just got to be aggressive coming out of the pen, throwing strikes with that good fastball, and so far so good tonight. 2-2. Another fastball in on the hands.
Mentioned college programs. Justin Wilson out of Fresno State. Born in Anaheim.
Be a 2-2 to Kevin Kiermaier. Fastball right on the outside corner, strike 3.
Watch the glove. Didn't move very much. Clips the outside corner. Kiermaier taking that well-known walk back to the dugout.
No tricks at it, bat, all fastballs, and Joe Girardi now going to mix and match, it looks like, with his bullpen. Nice job by Justin Wilson coming and picking up a strikeout, and the big man Dellin Betances making his way to the mound. Fastest, most reliable internet, and it is a good one. Masahiro Tanaka 1-1 with that 7 ERA against Jake Odorizzi. 2-0, off to a great start at a 0.61 ERA. Yankees extra innings coverage on Yes after the game. That game will be on Fox Sports 1. Should be a good one tomorrow night. Dellin Betances comes in, throws a first pitch breaking ball for strike 1 to Steven Souza Jr. See the numbers for Dellin: 6 walks, 5 strikeouts. Looking to get back on track here a little bit after a rough spring. The slider misses down and away. Kenny, we already talked about Souza Jr. and his power and that long home run he hit in Toronto. A good matchup right here. Strikeout pitcher against a guy who will strike out, but you make a mistake, it could go a long way. Fastball right by him.
There's that big swing you were talking about. That was a little long for him. I think one thing that impressed me, I've been watching him the last couple of days. I was watching that game last night. He's got a quick, kind of compact swing. It looked like he was thinking home run on that swing.
Betances head in the count 1-2, goes breaking ball, slapped the other way, off the glove of Mark Teixeira, and Souza Jr. will be safe. Looked like that ball had some spin right off the end of the bat. Confused Mark Teixeira.
It was going to be a tough play because then Teixeira from one knee would have had to hit a moving Dellin Betances, and Souza runs pretty well for a big man. I told you Souza's 6'4", 225, but he can get down the line. And that's going to go as a base hit, as usually it does at home.
Ball was right off of the end of the bat of Souza Jr. You wonder if it had some spin. Like Mark couldn't really line it up properly.
So Souza now has 2 hits in the game.
And he's running. First pitch, a throw from McCann up the line a little bit. He's going to be safe.
We told you the Rays have been running. That is stolen base number 4 for Souza. He didn't waste any time going on the first pitch. It moves himself into scoring position, but did he hurt himself? Looks like he's favoring that left shoulder. Did he run into Gregorius? Pitch is right down the middle for a strike. The throw to second is a little on the right field side. And it looked like Gregorius made contact with the left shoulder of Steven Souza Jr. There's the reception. Well,
I think the ball might have gotten him in the back.
Yeah.
The most important thing for Tampa, he's in scoring position. Cabrera takes a breaking ball down and in. Yep. Ball gets him right in the back. Throw from McCann just up the line a little bit. Gregorius can't come up with it.
For the Rays, that's their 12th stolen base of the season. They're just behind the Tigers. Tigers are doing everything.
Good pitch for strike 2.
Tigers are hitting, pitching, stealing bases, and winning.
9-1 for Detroit. Off to a great start. They beat the White Sox this afternoon in Detroit. The Betances ahead in the count 1-2 to Cabrera. Little check swing. Check at third base. Jerry Lane says he did not go.
We get the benefit of a second look here. That's right on the border. One step the wrong way, and he's in El Paso or Juarez, one or the other.
It'll be a 2-2. Slap to the right side. Mark Teixeira coming in, makes the play over to Betances, who after the stolen base, Dylan Betances able to settle down, get a weak ground ball. We're still tied up here at 4 in Tampa Bay. Extra innings post-game coverage. Then Sunday afternoon, yes, we'll have pre- and post-game shows around the game on Pix 11. And on Monday night, catch full coverage of the series opener between the Yankees and the Tigers right here on Yes.
On to the 8th inning in a 4-4 ball game. Carlos Beltran will lead it off for the Yankees. And Kevin Jepsen is the new pitcher for the Rays, making his 6th appearance of the year. It looks like he's off to a pretty good start. Opponent's only hitting .067 as Beltran takes a little bit low for ball 1. Jepsen came over in the trade from the Angels as we check out our Hyundai scoreboard. 4-4. going from the Rays to the Angels was Matt Joyce. And the 1-0 pitch, and that is ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Jepsen, 30-year-old right-hander. Grew up near Reno, Nevada. That pitch is in there for a strike. 2-1. Beltran will be followed by Teixeira and McCann.
You can't really argue about it. Hunter Wentelstead, the home plate umpire, has been calling low strikes all night. Borderline down.
Ball hit on the ground through the left side. There was nobody home. And Beltran has himself a base hit, and that is his 1,000th hit in the American League.
First baseman, Mark Teixeira.
And we got a pinch runner. It's going to be Brett Gardner running for Beltran.
Well, that 1,000th hit in the American League is a nice piece of hitting, beating the shift, just going the other way. He'll have the rest of the night off. Brett Gardner comes in to pinch run. The Yankees trying to get something going here in the 8th inning.
So now 2,329 hits in his career as Teixeira comes up. 0 for 2 with a walk. Gardner, of course, represents a lot of speed at first base. And first pitch is over the corner for a call strike.
Well, we saw Steven Souza Jr. for the Rays being aggressive first pitch, stealing second base, getting himself in the scoring position. Brett Gardner historically has not been aggressive early in counts stealing. We'll see if that changes here.
Toss over to first, and he's back. Quicker toss and a good stop by Dykstra. That ball was in the dirt, and yet first baseman had to scoop it out.
Well, Dykstra with a big 3-run home run and a nice defensive play right here with the backhand. Nothing else. Kevin Jepsen paying attention to Brett Gardner, taking away from Mark Teixeira at the plate.
Gardner's looking for his first steal of the year. He's been tossed out once. Not going. The pitch is hit high in the air to center field. Coming on is Kiermaier along with Jennings. Who's going to make the play? Looks as though the center fielder Kiermaier will take it. And Gardner retreats to first base. There's one out. So with 1 out and 1 on, Brian McCann will come to the plate looking for his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2, but he did draw a walk in front of the home run by Alex Rodriguez in the 6th inning that tied the game. Once again, the shift is in mode. Outfield is deep and straight away. Jepsen deals outside for a ball. That almost looked like a semi pitch out.
I was just thinking to myself, you're Bobby Wilson behind the plate and you think Gardner's running. You set up off the plate away, call a fastball, and see if you can get a good pitch to throw on.
Long hold by Jepsen. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Outside of the inning where Alex Rodriguez homered to lead off the second, this is the first time in the game that the Yankees actually got the leadoff man on in an inning. That one does hit the corner, and it's 2-1.
Well, you'd expect Brett Gardner, when he's pinch running for Carlos Beltran, to go in there looking to steal a base. It's kind of tentative over there.
Not going. Then it's ball 3. 3-1. This might be a good pitch to go on. You figure that McCann will get a pretty good pitch to hit. You want to stay out of the double play. You want Alex Rodriguez to hit with a man on. But you know what? If he does hit a grounder, Gardner's at second. They're going to walk Alex. So let's see what happens here. He's going. The pitch is hit in the air to center field. Kiermaier has a beat on it. He'll make the catch for out number 2. So 2 fly balls to center field and 2 outs in the 8th inning. But here is the man who's done the damage for the Yankees. He's driven in 3 of the 4 runs.
Well, he well rested after yesterday's off day. This is a bomb in the 2nd inning. Then later on in the 6th, just reacts with his hands in. Hits a line drive BB out of here. Big night for Alex Rodriguez.
Homered in the 2nd, grounded to 3rd and the 4th, and homered again in the 6th. 61st multi-home run game of Alex Rodriguez's career. He's up with 2 outs and a man at first. Swing. Foul tipped it in and out of the glove of Wilson.
Well, you give Jepson credit. He came right at Alex Rodriguez. Fastball right down Broadway, and you watch Alex's swing.
Oof.
He's not thinking about going to right field. That's looking for another home run. Would have been 3rd on the night. Boy, he's taking good swings from the side. You get the foot down. Great extension.
You notice Wilson went right out there and talked to Jepson. He said, I think we should stay away from that. You got away with one.
He has proved he can turn the fastball around tonight.
Breaking ball drops in for a strike. And was that called a strike?
I think that was an umpire who got fooled and kind of gave you the half call.
All right, so that's a ball.
You watch Hunter Wentelstadt behind the plate. He kind of flinches. Yeah, I want to know.
All right. 1-1. Did look a little low. Little chopper towards 3rd, and it's going to twist foul. Rod looking for his first ever hit against Kevin Jepson.
Well, Alex has seen a couple of breaking balls back to back. I talked a lot already about how he impressed me the last at bat, reacting to a fastball in with 2 strikes. Same count, 1-2. I'd expect Jepson to stay away. Take your chances with the slider off the plate.
2 balls and 2 strikes. That one misses low.
Even the takes, Kenny.
Yeah.
Slider misses down middle. Alex Rodriguez saw that all the way.
Gardner back easily. I don't think he's going till the count gets to 3. If the count gets to 3-2, then automatically he will go. But not getting tossed out with Alex Rodriguez at the plate. Up, he's going. Pitches high for a ball. The throw to second. Not in time. Gardner picks up his first stolen base of the season. And Bobby Wilson out to talk to Jepson.
You're right, Kenny. If you're going to steal this bag, you better be 100% sure you are going to be safe with the way Alex Rodriguez has been swinging the bat tonight. Beckham blocks second base. Brett Gardner just goes around with his right hand.
You know, we're seeing more and more infielders block the bag with their legs. You know how you get away from that? You start sliding feet first. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Gardner at second. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's fouled off. We'll do it again.
Jepson living dangerously right there. Alex Rodriguez wants that pitch back. First base open. The way he's been swinging the bat tonight, you expected the Rays to throw a ball off the plate. They don't. Right down the middle again. We got away with one there.
There's a situation where a single might do the job. Breaking ball hit in the air to right center field. It's going to drop in for a base hit. Here comes Gardner. He will score, and the Yankees lead it 5-4. Alex Rodriguez with his 4th run batted into the game.
Well, it doesn't matter. You throw him a couple of fastballs, he takes you into the seats in left center and down the left field line. You throw a 3-2 slider for a strike, and he just stays on it, drives it right back up the middle. Nice piece of hitting, 2 out, big opportunity hits right here for Alex Rodriguez, and the Yankees take the lead.
Flash, I think you had the key. He had already seen a couple of breaking balls during that at bat, so he saw everything that Jepsen had as Kiermaier knocks it down. So A-Rod's at first with 2 outs, and it brings up Stephen Drew, who's driven in a run with a home run.
Here's the pitch again. It's a slider and it's a strike. And Alex just drops the bat head right down, eyes on the ball. It's all around. Even the takes he's had tonight, he has been locked in.
5-4 Yankees lead. Drew pops one up, and it'll reach the seats. Stephen Drew with his 3rd home run of the season, a solo shot in the 4th inning. Came with 2 down, nobody on. And for Drew, it was the 100th home run of his career. So Gardner pinch running, steals the bag, scores a run that puts the Yankees in the lead. Here's a call strike, 1-2 on Drew. Steven Geltz is up in the Rays pen. Bouncing ball foul in front of Tony Pena. Very entertaining ball game tonight, and the leading man has been Alex Rodriguez. 3 for 4 with a couple of home runs and 4 runs batted in. Now with 11 RBIs on the season. Two balls and 2 strikes to Stephen Drew. Ground ball to the right side for Beckham. And he will throw on the Dykstra, and that's it. But the Yankees do pick up a run. Alex Rodriguez with a base hit that drives in Brett Gardner. It's been a big night for Alex. Couple of home runs and a single to put the Yankees out in front. get all the reaction from tonight's series opener. Bob and Jack will have the highlights, analysis, plus we'll hear from players in the clubhouse. It's all coming up right here on Yes. Betances still in the ball game, and Evan Longoria takes a strike. The Yankees have made a couple of changes defensively. As we look at our Hyundai scoreboard, Yankees now lead 5-4 as we're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Longoria takes outside, a ball and a strike. Brett Gardner stays in the ball game. He is in left field, and moving from left to right field is Chris Young. Longoria tonight is 1 for 2 with a walk. He's also grounded into a double play. Swing and a miss, and it's a ball and 2 strikes. Longoria, Jennings, and Dykstra for the Rays here in the 8th. Ooh, nothing but power there. 95-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's Betances' first strikeout of the night.
The fastball velocity's there. More important, the location right on the outside corner. Andrew Miller getting loose. Joe Girardi mixing and matching from the 4th inning on. The Yankees playing to their strength of their club tonight, the power and ability in their bullpen.
You can almost see Betances going after Jennings here, and then maybe Miller coming on to get the final out with the left-handed hitting Dykstra coming to the plate. Yankees leading 5-4. Pitch is in the dirt, and it's 2 balls and no strikes on Desmond Jennings, who is 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. You hear the pop of the glove all the way up here. And that's a call strike, 2-1.
Yeah, but I think Kenny, you like the fact that he's dotting the outside corner even more. You know, location had been a little bit erratic early on. And all of a sudden he's pounding that outside corner. That's a good sign.
3 balls and a strike now on Jennings, who is a stolen base threat. You don't want him on. In the air to center field, drifting back is Ellsbury, and he'll make the catch about the middle of the warning track and straightaway center. And that is out number 2. A long fly ball out off the bat of Desmond Jennings, and here comes Joe Girardi, and he wants the left-hander to face the left-handed hitting Dykstra, who's already hit a 3-run homer in this game. So Betances gives up a hit and nothing else. So we'll be right back. We've got a good one going. You don't want to go anywhere. And this is what he did in Baltimore the other night, just powering one by Manny Machado. Good breaking ball there. And Miller got the job done. That was the first game of the series. And he got the save. And that was his second save of the year. And Kevin Cash will counter. Right-handed hitting Rene Rivera, and he swings and drives one to the gap in left center, but it's caught by Jacoby Ellsbury, and that'll be it. One pitch, and that's it for the Rays here in the 8th. The Rays have gone to the bullpen another time, and it's going to be Steve Geltz coming out of the bullpen. A right-hander from Ransomville, New York. That is up near Lake Ontario. In fact, it's a very small town, if I remember correctly. Got 1,400 people. And he's probably the only big leaguer from that town. That's a good guess.
Pretty good chance.
Yeah, pretty good chance. He'll face Chris Young, who's 0 for 1. He's had a sacrifice, walked in the flight out to left field. And the pitch is fouled into the glove of Wilson for strike one. High and away, a ball and a strike. By the way, Rene Rivera stays in the ball game. He's now at first base. And in fact, this year is the first time ever he's played that position. He's the starting catcher. That pitch is in there for a strike to Chris Young, and it's 1-2. Swing and a miss. And Geltz, who pitched last night in Toronto, did not retire a batter, faced 3 batters, and they all reached. Coming back a bit tonight as he strikes out the first man he faces, and Chris Young. And it'll bring up DJ Gregorius.
Kenny, you mentioned Geltz back from New York, lives up there in New York. Want to wish a 40th happy birthday to Jeff Matalone, who I met a couple of years ago at Sweeney Murdy's wedding. Sweeney, who does a great job for FAN. He had his 40th birthday yesterday, and it kind of fallen on some tough times health-wise, so hope you feel better, Jeff, and happy birthday.
All the best. Pitch is low for Didier Gregorius, and the pitch count is 2 balls and no strikes. Gregorius tonight, 0 for 3. Flied out to left, struck out swinging, and then flied out to center. trying to get it going with the bat. And he fouls this one off. 2-1.
Well, when you're struggling a little bit offensively, that's what happens. A 2-0 fastball down the middle. You're a little bit late. You foul it off. And when you're hot, line drive right back up the middle. Didi's timing just off a little bit early on.
Head on the count here, 3-1. Should get a pretty good pitch to hit. The 3-1 pitch hit high in the air. This is going to twist towards foul territory, but Jennings has room, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. So 2 up and 2 down for the Yankees, and he'll bring up Jacoby Ellsbury, who is 0 for 3 with a walk, and he's got a 7-game hitting streak on the line. This might be his last opportunity to run it to an 8-game streak. And he checks a swing, and the pitch is inside for ball 1. Very entertaining game tonight. First game of a 3-game series between the Yankees and the Rays. Yankees leading 5-4. And there's a call strike, knee high over the outside corner, 1-1. Been one of those nights where the long ball has been flying. 5 home runs in the game, 3 by the Yankees, 2 by the Rays. 2 home runs for Alex Rodriguez, 1 for Stephen Drew. On the Rays side of the ledger, Dykstra's hit 1 and Forsythe's hit 1. Two 2-1 pitch, good swing, but it's fouled straight back. 2-2. If you're looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th inning, the Rays have the bottom of their order. Forsythe, Beckham, and Wilson scheduled to hit against Andrew Miller. Fouled back by Ellsbury. Tried to dot the inside corner, but just missed, and that'll run the count full. 3-2.
Well, we talked about the low strike being a factor tonight. This may be down, maybe a little bit in. Bobby Wilson tries to bring it back. The Rays don't get the call.
Here's your 3-2 pitch, and it's hit in the air to the right side for Beckham. And he makes the catch. The Yankees go quickly in the 9th inning. Can they hold on and pick up a win in the opening game of this series? Come on back. Heineken, open your world. By People's United Bank, see what know-how can do. And by Blimpie, try one of the new oven-fired artesian flatbread sandwiches. Blimpie, America's sub shop. It's on to the bottom of the ninth. The Yankees leading 5-4. Andrew Miller trying to pick up the save, and Logan Forsythe takes a pitch in there for a called strike. Forsythe's had a good night. He gets single, hit a home run, his second of the year, and he's grounded to third. A ball and a strike on Forsythe. Beckham's on deck. Wilson scheduled to follow.
Third baseman Chase Headley playing on the line, guarding against the double.
Two balls and a strike on Forsythe. Here's a look at the Headley at third. Three and one. Miller was not happy with that last pitch.
I was thinking that was a dangerous pitch. Andrew Miller went with the slider and he missed badly up out over the plate. Forsythe has some power and is having a good night, like you mentioned, Kenny. Doesn't get any easier here. 3-1.
Ground ball underneath the glove of Miller, and Drew will knock it down, but he can't make a play. And it'll be a leadoff single. Forsythe with his third hit in the ball game.
Having a big night. 3 hits, the home run. Gets in a hitter's count, gets jammed on a fastball and just fights it right back up the middle. Nice effort by Drew. Does not have a play. 3-1. They go in with the fastball and they beat him. It's good placement right back up the middle.
Let's see how the Rays want to play this. Beckham's at the plate. He's 0 for 3 tonight. He's struck out, lined out to short twice. First pitch drops in for a strike. No sign of the bunt.
Well, you talked about it earlier. Beckham has some power, a couple of home runs. Headley in on the turf.
Good scoop by Brian McCann on a tight slider in the dirt. Ball and a strike on Beckham.
Well, you're right, Kenny. Good play and a slider down and in. Brian McCann. It only keeps Forsythe at first base, being the tying run, keeps the double play in order. Andrew Miller right here, possibility of one pitch, get yourself 2 outs.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. He's powered the fastball right on by him.
If you're Brian McCann behind the plate, you have a lot of options right now with Andrew Miller. Slider down and in, a tough pitch on the righty. You can elevate the fastball like he did that last pitch. See if Beckham wants to swing up out of the zone.
Strike 3. Beckham caught looking. 1 down.
Saw a couple of sliders early and a couple of fastballs late, and this ball is not even located very well, right down the middle. Beckham just sitting on an off-speed pitch. He gets the express right down the middle of the plate. First out here in the ninth.
Here's the number 9 hitter, the catcher Bobby Wilson. He's found out the third, walked, and flying out the left. First pitch, breaking ball in there for a called strike.
Such a simple delivery from Andrew Miller, and the ability to drop the slider in for a strike pretty much anytime he wants to. Gets ahead in the count quickly.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. Miller jumps ahead, no balls, 2 strikes.
We talk about left on left for Andrew Miller, making lefties look bad. As Geyer stepped into the on-deck circle, but this guy can make right-handed hitters look bad with that slider down and in.
Fouled off as Wilson spoils the pitch over the outside corner. You know, I was thinking of another tall lefty who had a great slider. Remember Steve Carlton? 300 game winner, Hall of Famer.
Like an unhittable slider.
Tell me about it. Just he was so tall, he had that great angle, just coming down and just like a disappearing slider. The 0-2 pitch. Wilson holds, and it's outside, 1-2.
As I watch Bobby Wilson in this at bat, he looked bad on a slider, got behind in the count, and had a real good swing at the fastball. Fouled it off. Start thinking they should go back to that slider down and in.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3. He's gone. Well, after the leadoff single, back-to-back strikeouts for Andrew Miller.
It was the slider. It was not down and in. Bobby Wilson, one of those guys who hunts the fastball every pitch, and he didn't get it there.
And with 2 outs and a man at first, Kevin Gash goes to Brandon Geyer. The pinch hit for the left-handed hitting Kevin Kiermaier. So the Yankees 1 out away from picking up a win in this opening game of the series. Joe Girardi is trying to get the attention of somebody defensively. First pitch to Geyer is downstairs for a ball.
Kenny, obviously the Yankees looking for a win after losing 2 straight in Baltimore, but this would be a big game because the bullpen did what it's supposed to do, dominate at the end of games, and Alex Rodriguez obviously having a huge night offensively.
The 1-0 pitch, and there's a call strike, 1-1. Geyer's had 4 pinch hit at bats this year. He's 1 for 4 in that role.
Look at the Yankees bullpen. Rogers a great job, 2 1/3 innings. Wilson, Betances, and now Miller. Yankees playing to the strength of their ball club tonight if it works out.
There's a check on Forsythe. It's the first time that Miller's thrown over to first. But when you look at the way he delivers the ball, Flash, he doesn't have much of a stride, so it's tough to get a good
run on. Yeah,
get a good jump on it. Sort of like picks the foot up, puts it straight down, and delivers. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Miller reaching back for a little extra. The Rays are down to their last strike. Alex Rodriguez, 4 runs batted in this game. Foul ball. Yankees only 5 hits in this game, but 3 of them have been home runs. One-two pitch fouled off as Geyer spoils a sharp breaking ball.
Yeah, Geyer's got the right approach now, not trying to pull that slider, just trying to fight it off the other way. Give Souza Jr. a chance waiting on deck. Try to pull that slider, you swing right over the top of it. If you can stay inside and try to block it off to right field, you have a chance.
Here's the 1-2 pitch. And did he go around? Yes, he did, and there's your ball game. What a job by Andrew Miller. After the leadoff single, he strikes out the next 3 hitters, picking up his 3rd save of the year, and the Yankees do win the opening game of this series by a score of 5-4.
Well, Alex Rodriguez is going to get a lot of credit the big night, the couple of home runs, but the Yankee bullpen did a fantastic job tonight. Last pitch of the game, a slider down and in, the check swing. McCann keeps it in front. The Yankees win a very, very nice ball game, 5-4.
Entertaining ball game. The Yankees take it 5-4 in the opening game of the series as Andrew Miller picks up the save. And let's check out the game changer presented by T-Mobile.
Well, we'll take a look at our game changer, Alex Rodriguez. Home run number 3 in the second inning, an absolute bomb. Then he follows it up with home run number 4, keeping it fair. And then the base hit right back up the middle. Had 4 RBIs tonight. Alex Rodriguez, your game changer.
So the Yankees do take the opening game of the series by a score of 5-4, and standing by is Meredith Marakovits with a guest big hitter of the night.
Thanks, Kenny. Alex, terrific night offensively. 2 home runs, what wound up being the game-winning single that drove in Brett Gardner. How locked in are you feeling at the plate right now?
Well, tonight was a good night. I felt good, no doubt about that. I got some good pitches to hit and hit them well. But tonight was a big team win for us.
You mentioned the team win. How impressed are you with the bullpen and what they were able to do tonight?
Well, I mean, Rogers did a great job to keep the game intact and under control. And then, our Twin Towers came in and did a really nice job.
You look at that 8th inning. When Brett Gardner steals second base and gets into scoring position, does that change your approach at all or what you're thinking at the plate?
Well, that was a great team offensive inning for us. I mean, Carlos Beltran leads off with a nice base hit, and then Brett Gardner gets the clutch stolen base. And it just simplified things for me a little bit. I knew that a base hit, we had action.
You said in the beginning of spring training you weren't really sure what to expect offensively. The fact that you are hitting and the power has come back, how satisfying is that for you?
It's nice. I mean, I didn't know what to expect this year, to be honest with you. I'm working really hard and just trying to take it one at bat at a time.
What do you think when you hit a 471-foot home run?
It's been a long time. It felt good.
Alex, thanks for the time.
Thank you.
Kenny, we'll send it back up to you.
Well, thank you very much, Meredith. Thanks to Alex Rodriguez. 4 runs batted in, a couple of home runs, and a game-winning single as the Yankees win this opener of a 3-game series by a score of 5-4. All right, now we're going to send it to our studios in Bob Lorenz and Jack Curry. And we'll be back in just a few moments in Tropicana Field.